Why are you ticking? Alright. When are we going out? Not yet. It's not time. Yes it is, the sun's shining. Look, you're not taxed. I know you've got a tax disc, but that's from 1991. At the moment you're SORN. I want to go out. Yes, I know, but you'll have to wait a little while I get you taxed. Anyway, I want to tell you a story from the book of storytelling. You can't see without your glasses. Don't fool me. Ah, you're correct on that point. But look, see, reading glasses. There's the book. So, this story begins this morning when I decided, as it is after April 2025, this bike is now exempt from road tax in the UK by law. I'd now make sure that it was in the historic classification tax bracket, which is free. However, you cannot do this without the 8 magic words. And as I found it this morning, you may have to use these 8 magic words several times. Are you listening? Okay, I'll put your headlight off, save your battery. Good idea. So, as I said, Elliot, you are now exempt from tax. You're also exempt from MOT. Now, personally, I think that's absolutely mental. This bike is 41 years old this year. If any bike needs assessing for safety, I would say it's a 41-year-old motorbike. But no, the law in Britain is after 40 years, no more assessments by MOT stations. Luckily for me, I always do my own preparation and I've never yet had the bike fail MOT, so I feel pretty confident that I can keep it up to spec. However, you can still take it for an MOT, have it checked over by a professional and get a certificate if you so wish. It's just as no longer a legal requirement. I just fill out a form, self-certifying it as safe, and that's what I'm going to do. So the other problem is that this morning, I knew it was going to be difficult. I decided to bite the bullet and go and get the historic class tax certification if I could, knowing full well that 1, it's not very well known about, 2, the post office seem to put every barrier in the way that they possibly can, and 3, only the post office can do it. I can't do it, I can't go online, I can't post it away. So here's the sequence of events. There's a big queue in the post office, 2 ladies having a chat behind the counter, only one of them serving, the other one talking about the weekend and what they were going to do. I mean, I'm elderly, about my age, and in no hurry at all to do anything, which gave me a sinking feeling to start with, because I thought, they don't look like they're going to be interested in my predicament. I had been in previously and talked to somebody behind the counter, but it was a different lady and she wasn't there today. So I was half expecting some difficulty, but I did take with me these documents, the V5C, and just in case, my exemption for the MOT, which she never asked for. I tried to give her it and she wouldn't look at it. So I said to the lady, using the 8 magic words which you must use. I used them over and over. Can I tax my bike as historic, please? I said to the lady, can I tax my bike as historic, please? And the blood drained from her face. I knew she wasn't going to be able to do it. So she turned to the other lady who wasn't actually doing anything and said, could you do this one? And she said, okay, I'll have a go. Now, I'm not ageist. I'm probably the same age as they are. But they really didn't look like they knew what to do. So I went to the next counter. The lady came to me, made me wait 5 minutes while she faffed about. And then she said to me, okay, what can I do? So I thought, haha, let's use the 8 magic words. Can I tax my motorbike as historic, please? You have to send it to the DVLA. I said, yes, I know that, but it has to go via the post office. No, you need to come in here with an envelope with the DVLA address on it and we'll send it for you. I said, no, I need to tax my bike as historic, please. She blinked a few times, looked at me, and she said, "Well, is it taxed now?" I said, "No, it's sawn at the moment. I would like to tax my bike as historic, please." Oh. So then she went to the computer, looked through her glasses at it. I can't really criticise that, can I? Looked down her nose at it, looked down her nose at me, and said, "What is it you'd like to do again?" So I said, "Can I tax my motorcycle as historic, please?" I didn't hold my hand out to the motorcycle because it wasn't there. So she must have seen something on the screen, so she starts typing into it. And she goes, "Well, unfortunately, you'll need to bring in your V5C," which I had in my hand and had already passed to her, and she passed it back. I said, "Here it is." And I'd also written in the change of class, historic. She looked at it as though I'd handed over a piece of soiled toilet paper. "Okay, well, you won't be getting this back." I said, "As I understand it, that's how it works." Then she said to me, "Right, it's free." I said, "I know, that's why I have to come to the post office to do it, because at the moment there is no way in the kingdom of the United Kingdom that I know of taxing it historic, which in effect is changing its tax class, without coming to a post office that can do that. You can't do it online. I can't send a letter to the DVA, they'll just send it back. It has to be done via the post office." So she frowned again. She said, "Well, when do you want it to start from?" I said, "The 1st of April. She said something about, "Well, it says March here." I said, "Well, it's only qualifies from the 1st of April. She didn't like that either. Eventually, she took the V5. She wouldn't look at my MOT exemption at all, didn't want anything to do with it. And then gave me a receipt. The receipt says something like, taxed £0.00, and that apparently should class me or class the bike as being taxed. Now, I live in a kingdom which has a king and is archaic in many ways. It's an archaic rule. It hasn't been modernised. In its defence, it's for archaic machines. But I think they really do try to make it as difficult as possible, not least because that means that the state doesn't get any more money for this vehicle from me. Not that it was anyway, because it was sawned. "When can I go out?" Okay, well, go out when your tax comes back. I think effectively it is taxed now. I heard that, but it has not yet appeared online. So that's the story of changing your vehicle to historic tax class and taxing your bike for free. So from now on, this bike will no longer require any road tax. It's free, but each year I believe I will get a reminder, which I then take to the post office and retax it for £0.00. Crazy system, that's what we've got. But the key to it, the only way to unlock it is to say, "Can I tax my motorbike as historic, please?" And keep saying that until they give in. Good luck. To me, the craziest thing of all is that a 40-year-old vehicle no longer requires a test for safety. But that's the kingdom in which we live. Usually, I don't like being in a kingdom, but after what's going on across the pond, maybe I'll change my mind. And on that note, Cod Your Biker is out! Standing in the line in the post office queue. Back a taxi nightmare, back a taxi nightmare. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Back a taxi nightmare, back a taxi nightmare. I'll have to use my 8 words. Back a taxi nightmare, back a taxi nightmare.
May I text my bike as historic, please? Bike a taxi nightmare, 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 bike a taxi nightmare.